just had a question up here too, because you are a Husker now, man. You've officially already played. You're here on the team. You're already working with the offense. So, question from Jim in Minnesota again is, we hear such great things about Coach Beckton. What does he do so well that all of the tight ends love him so much?
That's a loaded question for sure. Well, that's my guy. Like I appreciate him for everything. But to start off, like when I first got there, I wasn't really familiar. I was just locked in. Like Lubick's my coach. Like that's all I Coach Lubick. He was
Yeah.
here a little bit
Yeah. He
ago.
lives over in Fort Collins right here.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So we were when I got there, I was just focused on just learning receiver. Then what happened during camp? Um, Hickman was down. Travis was down. Fedoni was down. Uh, Bork was down, and all these other dudes were down. So like they had like once, and I think Austin was down too for like 2 weeks during camp. So I went from being in like the developmental group, like just purely learning the offense, and I probably had 5 days at receiver during camp, and I wasn't I wasn't like doing bad or anything, but it was just like they had literally no one. It was either like they was gonna call up some defensive ends to whatever. And Frost came up to me. He was like, "Look, like, would you like to like play tight end for a little bit?" And then my mom like, "Wait, what? Like tight end? Like I'm 200. And at the time I was probably like 212. I'm like, these dudes is like 240, 250. Like looking at Trav and Austin, they like the Twin Towers. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
Lord,
They're like 6'7" or something.
yeah. And then the first thing he said, he was like, "You'll be running with ones all camp." I said, "Oh, it ain't no brainer." Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
throw me in there. So then I go in Coach Beck's room, and from the get go, he's on me like, "You soft as what? Like you ain't gonna you can't put your hand in dirt." Like just seeing what I would do and how I respond and whatever. And I'm probably going to talk about this like later on and ask him why he did it so the way he did it. But he was so hard on me that like I had no choice but to prove him wrong, but really to prove him right, because I feel like he knew the whole time I was able to do it. But he cares. Like that's the one thing. Like it's different from I've had coaches who care, but like he really care. Like he'll get on you, but he'll never. I've seen it, especially the spring ball. I've got to see him a lot closer. He'll get on you, but he'll never end a practice or a day without loving on you.
Okay.
Never. Like he'll never like players and
He
coaches.
treats you like one of his kids. I mean, that's
No,
how I
like
treat my kids, you know?
literally like, and it's love. Like I got my surgery, first person to call me, first person to check up on me every day is Coach Beck. Like so, the love is there. But as a coach, when we get in the film room, the most detailed person I've been around in the football industry or whatever, it's ridiculous. There's the amount of things he goes through before even play starts. Like he'll pause the play and we'll have to know like 5 different things before the play starts. Now the play starts, we have to know 5 different things. So there's the amount of detail even that the young guys have. I don't think they realize how much of a blessing it is for him to be the only coach they know in college.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I've had different coaches where it's kind of like, oh well, he routes at 5. Oh, that looked good,
Yeah.
But like it routes at 5. If you don't put that left foot in the ground the way I like it, then that's a bad rep. No matter if you catch the ball and score 90.
Okay. So let's stop right there for a second, because you're saying some things and I'm hearing some things that I just want you to confirm for me, because these are things that I'm kind of on the show. I don't know if you listen to the Redcast at all. If you don't, like and subscribe us on YouTube, hit that, smash the bell, watch us. But, I've been saying, again, I call it Frost 2.0 because everything looks and feels different, So with this new coaching staff, are you seeing a lot more attention to detail? Like that, like with every coach? Like how many different coaches are you working with? Is it just the one one coach, like somebody out here is asking if you're being utilized better in Whipple's offense. You already answered that like right at the beginning of this, where you said, yeah, there's a lot more 2 tight end sets. There's a lot more, passing game. There's a lot more options to get passes, everything out that. So the attention to detail, I know that like Mickey Joseph with the wide receivers is telling them like they're going to have to play special teams if they want to play football for him, right? Like, is that just kind of across the board with the entire coaching staff?
Yeah, Coach
Right
Raiola,
now?
Coach Applewhite, Coach Mickey. Trying to see if I forgot anyone else, and obviously Coach Brett and Coach Whipple with the Qs. Shout out Steve Cooper, he's with them the most, but uh, they like we had a walkthrough today, and just like everything has to be perfect, and no diss, but that's something we just didn't have in the past.
Okay.
And just from the short time I was here, I noticed it right away, where it was just different in a sense where there wasn't as much intensity.
Okay.
So the intensity is turned up, so the level of play is turning up. So this spring, I know obviously y'all only got to see the spring game, and half the dudes only played like 5 snaps, but like in the spring, like the level, we saw some dudes like level of play like really turn up because of the new coaches that were here. And I think that goes straight to the coaching, because the player has been there. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that changed was the coaching. So if the coaching level goes up, the playing level goes up, and that's where the team level goes up as well.
Man, that's what I wanted to hear you say, because that's been my theory, out there. I haven't heard it directly from really anybody. I mean, you hear a lot of writers talk about, the new coaching staff and the changes that they think are going to happen or no, but like to hear it directly from you and kind of confirm what I've been saying all along makes me feel pretty good.